Hello, my name's Fraser. I am the owner of the small business called L'Atelier de Fer. I also contribute on YouTube videos. I live in France, although I am English, or partly English. I'm half English, half Scots. It depends who's winning as to which one I go. Many years ago, way back in the dark ages, I served a 5-year apprenticeship as a toolmaker. I've worked on various types of press tools, jigs, fixtures, plastic moulds. I've worked in Africa, I've worked in Scotland, I've worked in England. I now work in France, although I don't do tool making anymore because basically I don't have the specialist equipment for making press tools or injection molds. Also, there's not a big call for it nowadays anyway. About 16 years ago, I decided to move out to live in France. My primary intention was to just retire and take it easy. But my love for working with metal and any kind of engineering just gave me the opportunity to continue working. I bought a couple of machines and I do quite a lot of welding. I have a lathe and a milling machine. I have what I like to think is possibly the best tool room type lathe in the world, which is a Colchester Triumph, and I work regularly on this machine. As I said, I actually moved out here to France approximately 16 years ago and set up this small business in rural France, and I love every minute of it. I love France. I enjoy working here in France, although my channel is called Metalworking in France. Basically the principles of working with metal are pretty much the same wherever you live. I've only added the bit in France because I like to tell people this is where I live. I have very varied customers, both English, French, Dutch, German. I don't speak all those languages, but obviously my primary language is English. I do speak a smattering of French. Possibly I'm probably a little bit too old to become perfectly fluent in French, but I get by, and the French people enjoy making fun of me, or just not so much making fun of me, but making fun with me about my, well, let's just say my expertise in the French language. We get on quite well, usually with bits of paper and lots of diagrams. We can normally ascertain what the customer wants me to make or to do for them. At the beginning of this year, just towards the end of January, I had a bit of a setback in my life where my beloved Jaguar caught fire right outside the house, and I had to call the pompier, which is the French version of the fire brigade, who came along and managed to put the vehicle out, the flames out eventually, but not until the car was totally destroyed. So now my Jaguar has gone, and I now own a Renault. It's a nice little car. It does everything I need it to do. So, but it's not a Jaguar, but there you go. I don't really need a Jaguar living here in France. I moved the car away from the house as soon as I noticed the smoke coming from under the bonnet. Next thing to do was to call the pompier. I used the garden hose just to try and quell the smoke and the flames a little, but it wasn't very successful. I didn't want to get too close to it because I was more in fear of tyres bursting or even possibly an explosion from under the bonnet. It seemed like an absolute age before the pompier arrived, but in actual fact they were quite quick really, about 15 minutes. Considering they're a reserve brigade, it was absolutely fantastic. I've never been so pleased to see blue lights appearing in my driveway. The pompiers worked extremely efficiently to put out the fire and to quell the flames. They stayed around for approximately 2 hours afterwards just to make sure that we had no reignition of the fire. And when they eventually left, this was what was left of my beautiful Jaguar. Anyway, In the meantime, please look out for my videos, and any comments you may have to make to me, or want to make to me I should say, please feel free to say whatever you feel like. I won't be offended. I might get a little bit upset, but I won't come back to you with it anyway, so please feel free to comment, and please look out for videos. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and like anything you might see.